Hello and welcome along to a special short little video from some recent comments I've had about some people asking over a long period of time as well about the slider settings for Rugby Challenge 2. Now it's a bit of a contentious issue. There's been a few changes, of course, with the addition of the Ruck slider as well has changed things a lot. People find that these sliders affect the way the game plays very much. So if you've been watching some of my videos and seen the way the matches play out, if you like the way they play out and want to replicate that for your game, well, stay tuned because we're going to take a short look at the slider settings that I use for all my matches that I record and put up onto YouTube. So let's check them out. We go down here to some help and options, and gameplay it is, and we can have a look here at what the settings are I use for my matches. So no surprise here, of course. You've watched too many games, you'll know that there's plenty of injuries happen on the field, so that's on, offsides are on, all this kind of stuff was all on. Keep it interesting, but it's these ones down here that really, oh, too far, here we go. These are the ones that really make the difference. Now we'll start at the top here, and I'll just go through my reasoning on a lot of things, why they could be possibly like that way, especially ones like this. High tackle frequency. Now, I don't know about for you guys playing the game, but by default this was, whoopsie, gone too far. This was on the second or third notch up, but I just, game after game, even now, 1 or 2 up, it was horribly high tackles all the time, constantly high tackle after high tackle, yellow cards being dished out like they were cookies at a little kid's playground or something like that. It's just become too much, and I wanted that as low as possible because realistically a game of rugby only has, you know, sometimes none, 1 or 2 high tackles a game, and it can really be a game changer and ruin the whole flow of the match. So you want them to be a big deal. High tackle changes the match, so that's why I have that quite low. Intercept frequency, I like the intercepts. It's a new thing from Rugby Challenge 1. Intercepts look awesome. When you get a try off an intercept, it looks just fantastic. And even with that bar up that high, that's over halfway, 2/3, probably not quite 2/3. There's still not too many intercepts in my matches, so you get the odd one in close quarters, which aren't the best, but really out wide. When you get an intercept try, it looks brilliant, and it's just, I love the intercepts. It's a great part of the game, and the more of them, the better, but without being too silly. So that's why I've got that there. Offload chance and offload frequency, I've got pretty low because the offloads, well, that's kind of me from Rugby Challenge 1. Offloads were a huge part, you know, you hit the tackle, offload, and away you'd go again. It's not as bad in Rugby Challenge 2, but I keep them all pretty low. Oh, there's success rate as well down there. Oh, what's that? 3 off the bottom. So that's why they're down that low. It just can get a bit silly if you can offload off any rubbish move you can think of. Smash in a tackle, the ball squirts out. Not very realistic, so that is why they are quite low. Pass success rate, now obviously it's quite high, it's over halfway, so the pass success rate is exactly what that says. The ability to pass, and really you want that to come down to the type of player who is making the pass. Obviously you don't want that too high, or else you'll have big props and they're doing these rubbish half-length field passes, which you still see from time to time, but not too bad. Break tackle ability, if you have the difficulty on easy or very easy, they break tackles out of everything. Any situation, you'll probably find a player will go through 3 to 5 tackles before someone will eventually break him down and put him to ground. So on Pro it's a bit different, the defense is a lot more urgent, a lot more aggressive, but still you don't want that too high because you'll just have players running around all over the place. And on the other hand, you do want a bit because tackles are always broken, and if you've just got a solid wall of unbreakable defense, that's just not rugby. Tackle ability goes the other way. It's slightly higher, but really self-explanatory stuff. Tackle ability should come down to the player's stats more than anything. Now this is a big one. the Ruck tackle bonus. Now, there was a lot of ideas floating about on forums, especially the Sidey forums, about where this should be set for the best and most realistic gameplay. I tried a lot of what those suggestions were. In the end, settled for this one. It's just slightly over half. It's about the same as the pass success rate. I find it works pretty well. I've had a bit of a tinker, I think, from the one that was the closest. I moved it one way or another slightly. Got it to a spot where I didn't find it was too dominant one way or the other. As you can see on my recent games, you know, there's teams have long phases of 20 or 30 minutes of the match that they are on attack, and when you're only playing short halves, that's not too long, but still that's a dominant period where a team will dominate possession, and that's how a game of rugby can go, and it will turn around in the second half and then it's all back the other way, topsy-turvy. Don't want too many turnovers that can ruin the flow of the match as well. So that's a big one, the Ruck tackle bonus. So that's really the big one of what a lot of people are probably trying to see how I have that set. So that's where it is, sitting right about just over halfway. Try it out, adjust it for your own liking, of course, and see how you get on. Attacking urgency, that one is up pretty high. Of course, attacking urgency is how fast they get forward and attack, chasing balls, running your line and attack, and stuff like that. Defensive urgency, exactly the opposite. Chasing balls, making tackles, chasing the players, making a break, kicks as well, all that sort of stuff. I think that works pretty well. I don't find to have too many players waywardly running about with like they're headless chickens with no real idea of where they're going. So it's a bit one way or the other. But of course, let's try these out if you're having trouble and see how you get on. Of course, tinker with them if you come up with some fantastic suggestions on what you think is better for your slider settings. Be sure to let me know and I will try anything out as per usual. But there are the slider settings. Check them out, have a play around, see how you get on, and hopefully it will improve your game like the mods do. It's something that can change the whole match in all sorts of different ways. So that is my time on this. It's just a short video to let you guys know exactly the sliders that I use and the settings. If you're all interested, they are all on. And of course, favourite team, I'm sure you can pick that one out for yourself. But yeah, everything else is on. And the sliders, as we just looked at, that's why it reasons. So see how you get on, and I'll see you again next time for plenty more rugby. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope this helps you all out, and take care.